Welcome to the Great People Show, your guide to greatness, your GPS to excellence. Here's your host, J.J. White.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Great People Show. I am your host, J.J. White, in the Great People Studio. You thought I was going to say back, didn't you?
I did.
James Muncie. What's up, James?
Good morning. How are
It's
you?
spring break. I'm doing great.
It is.
You've been here for 3 weeks in a row. I'm excited to have you.
It's crazy. And I'll be here for 2 more, I think.
I actually want you to miss a show just so I can get all crazy when you get back.
I'm gone at the end of the month.
We're going to throw a big party for you. It's getting crowded in here, man. We got spring break kids hanging out. We're building an audience.
We got like a daycare going on.
We need to have some bleachers set up out there. Talk to Asher about getting rid of those chairs and putting some bleachers up.
Live
Knock
studio
this wall
audience.
Out,
oh, yeah.
Put a glass wall here. Asher, are you paying attention? I mean, we could really do some really cool stuff in this room that we're in.
I'll get it done by next week.
We have to have a ticket booth outside.
It's true.
So good morning.
Morning.
Whether you're listening to us on live radio at 97.7 FM in Richmond, Facebook Live at facebook.com/Great People Show, or on Apple Podcasts, hit subscribe when you get there. Thank you for being here and allowing us to be a part of your journey to the greatest version of you. So is there any part of you that you're hiding from others? Maybe hiding from everyone? Do you have something to hide, James?
We all have something to hide.
I agree.
JJ.
That's why we're talking about this topic. That we all have something that we're hiding.
That's right.
From everybody.
That's right.
And then there's some things that we have that we're hiding from most people.
I have some things I'm hiding from you.
I think I should hide right now, actually. Get under the table. What are you hiding? Confessional time. I've got my priest outfit on. We're just sitting. No one's listening. No one's paying attention. What are you hiding?
Nobody's listening.
What are you hiding?
Well, there's a reason that I'm hiding it.
What's the reason?
Oh, all different things.
I'll take the back door to this answer.
You know, that is...
I'll sucker you into giving an answer by the time we're done here.
That's one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about today. I know you did too, is all the different motivations, both innocent and not so innocent, that people have for hiding things. Because like you said, we all have things in our lives that we hide. Maybe some are secrets that would devastate our families. Maybe they're things that we're simply ashamed or embarrassed of. Maybe it's pride. Sometimes people hide things because if they were out in the open, they feel like it would make them look like they were bragging. Like I have a friend that has an incredible island vacation house in the Bahamas. He does not talk to anybody about it. I know it's a long story how I found out. But the reason he doesn't is because he doesn't want to. If he put it out there, he feels like everybody would look at him differently.
That's honorable.
So the point is, I mean, people have all different reasons for hiding things.
Yep. So the question for our listeners today, what are you hiding? Everyone is hiding something. On a scale, as James said, it could be as innocent. Maybe it's an innocent hide. Maybe you're just hiding it. Maybe it's so innocent you're just hiding your addiction to Justin Timberlake. Maybe that's how innocent it can get. Or maybe it's as serious as hiding an addiction to drugs or alcohol, or even more serious is you're the only person that knows where the bodies are buried. And that's a pretty serious hiding right there.
Yeah, I'll say.
Of course, there's secrets, and then there are secrets. 3 in 5 people have a secret they dread friends or family finding out about. The average person has at least one secret they've been carrying for 15 years or more. The better news is a quarter of those polled believe their partner would support them if they did discover their secret. I don't know if that's good news or not. A quarter's not a whole lot, but
yeah.
I mean, considering the secret, it could be a whole lot. So we all have something that most or maybe everyone doesn't know about. In the leadership/consulting world, it's called a facade. It's that what we're putting up in front of other people that we don't want them to see for whatever reason. So why do we have a facade? Well, why not put it all out there? Literally, why not put all of you out there? Just all of you put out there. Some people do, but even the overshare has something they're holding back. Why? Is it a fear of judgment, of being found out, or is it because you genuinely lack confidence in yourself? No one wants to be Jim Carrey in the movie Liar, Liar. And it was funny because I was thinking about this movie when prepping for the show, and I wanted to find some audio clips, just some funny things of him not being able to lie.
Right.
And I really couldn't find anything appropriate for the show. I mean, they were all pretty funny. So,
yeah.
But if you've ever seen the show, you know that he physically cannot lie. He can't write a lie. He can't say a lie. And we see all the turmoil he goes through. I mean, it's got a happy ending. But really, no one around us can handle all the truth. Right? From A Few Great Men with Jack Nicholson?
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth, right? Sure, we have to hold something back, a little bit, but why? And I also thought of this as the emotion for this holding back thing. It's shame. Shame is the emotion of hiding, and the opposite of shame is taking responsibility for who we really are. And as Seth Godin once said, we hide by avoiding things that will change us. We hide by asking for reassurance. We hide by letting someone else speak up and lead. We live in fear of feelings. Why do we hide things, James?
Man, so many different reasons. This is a great topic because we all are hiding things, some of which are things we're supposed to hide.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in my career, I work with confidentiality every day with businesses that are about to trade hands, et cetera.
Oh, they're hiding all kind of stuff, aren't they?
Absolutely.
I mean, is your job to like kick over rocks to see what's being hidden?
That's part of my job, but also part of my job is to keep these things confidential until they come to a close.
Oh, so you know what they are.
Well, I know what. Let's say there's a well-known Richmond business that's about to be acquired by somebody else right now.
Okay.
You know, great example. Last week in Richmond, Richmond Biz Sense, which is a popular publication we have here in town, Chez Max, a well-known French restaurant on Patterson Avenue, changed hands. It's been in the same ownership for 20 years and changed hands. We were the ones that were behind that transaction. I've been working on it since last August. But I had to keep it hidden.
Yeah.
But so why do we hide things? Sometimes we hide things because we have to for our job. Sometimes we hide things because, like you said, we're ashamed of them. Sometimes we hide things because they would be so devastating they could cause us to lose everything. Something like hiding an affair.
Yeah.
Hiding some horrible, you went really dark, some horrible murderous secret.
Oh, buddy, it's getting dark in here.
Yeah.
Well, and so there's really two angles to this topic, one of which we're absolutely going to talk about today, which is why we hide our true selves from others. Another, which we may get to simply because it was just so provocative, is why do you keep secrets? There's legitimately two shows here, but I couldn't help but to want to get into the secret thing because it's the juicy part of this topic.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It's that juicy side. So why do we hide our true selves from other people? And if you want to be a part of this conversation, call into the show at 804-454-1366. When we get back, we're going to talk about why we hide our true selves from others, the way we hide things, and we're going to talk about some ways to maybe uncover these things for others comfortably. When I say comfortably, the reason we don't is because we're uncomfortable with things. And we have to find a reasonably comfort way to do it because nobody wants to be on their deathbed regretting not letting the world see their true self.
Yeah.
And that's a sad, sad proposition. So we don't want to let that happen. Don't go away, folks. Come on back. You're listening to The Great People Show.
The Great People Show. We'll be right back. Before the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People was the Dale Carnegie course. Now, after 104 years, over 8 million people experience Dale Carnegie courses. People like Warren Buffett and Ronald Reagan. The Dale Carnegie experience uses proven techniques to permanently unlock the potential of top talent, making individuals into inspiring leaders and groups into high-performing teams, while reducing the financial and emotional costs of employee turnover. For more information, visit DaleCarnegieRichmond.com. That's DaleCarnegieRichmond.com. Now back to the Great People Show.
What are y'all hiding out there? Don't hide from us. We know you got something. While we were on break, Marie Ringler on Facebook Live said something prophetic, so I'm going to read it to us. As a nurse, I agree with James. We learn a strong sense of confidentiality. Perhaps it is a habit. It's not always beneficial to share everything if it could hurt someone. And I created a short list of why do we hide our true selves from others, and that was the third one on the list. We feel the information, emotions, facts will damage our relationships. And I can't tell you how many times as an employer, as a friend, as a coach, people will hide things to protect other people.
Mhm.
But what they're really doing is extending the inevitable, and it destroys something harder later than just coming right out and saying, okay, here it is.
Yeah, it does that. It also impacts your ability to just enjoy your own life. You know, one of the biggest things in our society
That's important.
that we see people hiding is, you know, this whole coming out thing. If your sexual orientation is not what is considered to be traditional, and people live with that secret for a long time,
Their whole
and
life.
sometimes their whole life. I mean, how many people never come out?
Right.
But this is killing their quality of life, having to hold this secret that essentially in their world defines them, that they're not telling anybody about.
And that is a very complicated subject. Is that based on shame? Do people feel shame because of that? Or do they
I
feel
don't
there's
know.
retribution
It's a good question.
possible they could lose? I have friends that are mostly still in the closet about that. And they've specifically told me it's because it could dramatically impact their professional career if they came out. So there are consequences in their head that if they did that, to me, it's not from what they say, it's not a shame thing. It's just hey, this will destroy me.
Yeah.
And gosh, talk about a rabbit hole for this. I mean, that's a very complicated thing. So it's not just damaging our relationships. It could be damaging ourselves if we come out. And gosh, it looks like another show topic, like how hiding things can literally enable us or prohibit us from living a life of joy. Like it's just this, imagine walking, I don't think anyone here has to imagine. I think everyone's done this to an extent in their life where they've walked around with this dark cloud hovering over your head, knowing what you know and knowing that no one else knows what you know.
Yep.
And you might think you could tuck that away a little bit. You could put that in your pocket. You could lock that in a box and bury it somewhere. But your soul won't let you do that. And the lack of joy that sucks from your life by holding that inside of you. And we've seen stories, and maybe you have that story, and call into the show and share the story if you want, where you just couldn't take it anymore.
Yep.
You couldn't take the misery. You couldn't take the hurt, the heartache, and you just came clean with your parent, with your spouse, with your child. And how many times have you heard the story of a parent or parents telling their 30-year-old son that they're adopted? I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
Why did they hide that for 30 years or 25 years? Why did they hide that? It was to protect the child. Is 30 years of protection worth potentially destroying that person for the rest of their life? I'm not saying that if you share that at 30, that person's going to be destroyed, but it could do some irreparable damage.
It absolutely
Wouldn't
could.
you rather get rid of that off the shoulders first?
Well, I would, and that's not fair. That's not fair to in this case, and it's an adult, but that's not fair to the child. I mean, you know, it's one thing to find out when you're 6, 7, 8 years old about something like that, and then go through the majority of your childhood and your adult life knowing your reality.
Yeah.
To thinking that you fully understand who you are and where you came from, and now you're established as an adult, and then to get a bombshell like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the impact, I can't even imagine.
So it might be a little just different context. You're hiding something of someone else.
Yeah.
You're not hiding something that you've done or you've one of your behaviors, one of your acts. You're actually, it's a secret, right? Now we're getting into that. It's a secret.
Yeah.
Well, it's a secret because you made it a secret. It doesn't need to be a secret. Maybe probably someone would argue it shouldn't be a secret, but it became a secret to protect somebody. So that was one of the big ones on this. Why do we hide our true selves that Marie brought out? Another one was we think we're damaged and not good enough. And the reason we hide things is we think something about us is a liability. So maybe there's something in your past, and you get into a new relationship, and you don't want to share that with that person because you feel like it's part of your collateral damage on your life.
Yeah.
And I can almost guarantee that when that person, not if, but when that person eventually finds out, it's probably going to create more damage. Let's face it, you've been in some relationships where people just put it all out there up front. You're like, oh, that's intense. All right, well, it was nice talking to you, right? You just can't handle
Exactly.
it. But wouldn't we all rather know that up front?
Well,
If you get over it.
Some would and some wouldn't. I mean, there are whole books that have been written about when in a new relationship to disclose everything.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, if you lay it all out on the table on day one, you will scare a lot of people away. I'm not saying what's right or wrong.
I've actually started to do that in business. Like I try to scare people away from a job. I try to scare people away from getting into a business partnership with me, just because hey, if they're willing to keep coming back after that, we might be onto something here.
Yeah.
Asher, what was the proverb that you had pulled up on this subject?
Proverbs 17:9, and it reads, "Whoever covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates close friends."
Yeah.
So that's pretty deep.
We're getting pretty deep on the show today?
How many people need to know the secret is the question. Does anybody need to know the secret, and how many people do? So if somebody needs to know, you would probably want to be the person who's not going to tell everybody else. Otherwise, it's not a secret
So
anymore.
who needs to know? I'm not sure.
Need to know basis.
But does anybody need to know some of these things? So if
Or
you're
do you need to tell? Is that the
that's the
question?
key. See, I think that's the key. I think it's based on your soul. I think it's based on your heart and what you're trying to protect. Really, you think you're trying to protect the other person, but you're really trying to protect yourself. I mean, let's be really honest right here. I know that it can be very much crafted around, well, I don't want to hurt their feelings. Is actually no, you don't want to accept the consequences of being the bad guy if you share that. And we don't want to go through that. We don't want the pain, because that person can easily just walk away from you after you say that. But you're going to keep it. Yeah. You're going to hold on to the fact that you did this, you said this, they're gone, but that's not, and you're not. And I think people don't want to face that. I get it.
I mean, yeah, and these questions, like you said, we're getting deep today. These questions are not ones that have good or clear answers. We've all heard the stories of somebody who, to go back, hid some secret from their spouse for many years. Maybe it was something that happened before they were married, maybe something after, and they've gone through. It's been a decade or more since this situation happened, and the question is, should I come clean about it or not?
Yeah.
And what is the better thing, not just for me, but for my partner?
Yeah.
Because this could really damage what is a really good thing. And, JJ, I don't know what the answer to that question is, but these are,
well, why are you here,
things.
James? If you don't have all the answers for us, I mean, I could just be here by myself.
I'm out.
I mean, come on, man. So Christine Kennedy on Facebook Live, who's been on the show before, we love Christine. She's a good friend. She's reading a book right now, and one of the quotes in here, which is really good, self-protection is rooted in fear and results in hiding. I think that goes right in with what we were saying earlier, especially as a leader. And part of that, she mentions personal authenticity. And I want to do another show specifically on being authentic, because I think there's a huge difference between being authentic and being transparent.
Oh, definitely.
Because we can be one of the greatest authentic people in the world, but we're not as transparent. And that's really what we're talking about, is transparency, right? What do we say to other people that may or may not damage them? And one more of these, we have three, is why do we hide our true selves from others, that I want to get to before our next break, is we lack the confidence to stand up for what we truly believe in. And I see that daily in my career. Working in Dale Carnegie, every single day I'm talking to at least one person, usually it's multiple. The reason I'm working with them is because they don't have the confidence to stand up for what they truly believe in. And there's been a fraction of those people that did it at one point. They got hurt, and they said, I'll never do that again. They stood up in their own eyes too much for what they believe in.
Yeah.
So that from that point on, they just start to hide things. Well, many people live their whole life hiding their true selves because they're afraid of something. It's just based in fear. There's a phobia there. Well, they're going to judge me, or they're going to say something, or it's not going to work, or I'm going to look stupid, or I'm going to sound stupid. So the safe way is to hide something. But we said this earlier, man, I think you carry that on psychologically for years in regret if you don't just put yourself out there. I used to be that way. I'd made a note here, and I don't want to jump into it before this break, but up through college, I disappeared as a person. I hid myself. I hid myself from the world. in elementary school, middle school, high school, and in college. And look at me now. You know, I've been 18 years in Dale Carnegie. I've spoken collectively in front of tens of thousands of people. I don't even count. And here we're on the radio, been on the radio for a year in front of tens of thousands, maybe six. I don't know how many people we impact with the show. I think we all start that way, somewhere, hiding. It's in our nature, right? Didn't Eve eat the apple, and then God showed up and she hid?
Yeah.
Isn't that how it went down, Asher? I mean, I haven't been back in Genesis in a long time, but I mean, I got the story pretty much right.
Am I the resident theologian today? I think that's how it went down.
Okay.
But
so humanity started hiding because of shame and sin. And I think we all start off hiding, and then we find a way to grow out of that, to get out of that.
we do. But just to be clear, just because you're a public person speaking, doing the radio show here and all the other things you and I both do out in the public forum, it doesn't mean that you are truly being transparent, authentic, whatever you call it. I mean, look at the political, scandals that happen with everybody, including presidents, that have been huge secrets for these people that are
what's
out
up with
in the
presidents
public.
and sex? I mean, why is that always an issue?
I got nothing.
I mean, seriously, it's been around for a while.
Yeah.
Not all of them. At least that got caught.
Yeah, absolutely.
So today we're this is a good time to take a break, don't you think?
Yeah.
So today we're talking about why do you hide your true self? And when we get back, we're going to talk about the way we hide and how we need to overcome this. We need to find ways around this because the people around you right now need your true self and you're hiding it. So don't go away, folks. You're listening to The Great People Show.
The Great People Show. We'll be right back. Now back to The Great People Show.
It's getting crazy in here, folks. I have been consulted by our show attorneys and advisors not to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. We are looking for a massive on-air confession on The Great People Show today. So 804-454-1366. We prefer a prominent politician or someone of a maybe movie star kind of level. So that'll bring us a lot of attention. So if you're ready to confess, big confession, call the show.
Well, the show isn't about confessing. The show is about what are you hiding?
Oh, no, it's all about confession, baby.
my gosh.
I want everyone to come clean on today's show. So we're talking about why do you hold back? Why do you hide the true selves from others? We're trying to make light of a very thick subject. So we've got some ways that we hide from a website called tinybuddha.com. I don't know if I really like this site or if it just keeps coming up when I search for things. They probably have good SEO going on, I'm guessing. We don't give our opinion because it's different from what other people are saying. That's the biggest one that I notice in business. People feel like since it's not status quo, they just hold back. And that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. You're supposed to be given opinions that are different.
That's right.
Don't worry about what people think. If they think it's stupid, well, maybe they're stupid,
Mm-hmm.
We avoid eye contact or look away once initial eye contact is made. And I thought this was fascinating on this list. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is because, and I'm not into the psychology of NLP and FBI interrogations and stuff, but there are certainly things that you can notice about somebody when they're hiding something.
Yeah,
we know that.
Yeah.
There's
and I'm
books written on
I'm
it.
all into the NLP stuff.
I know. So this whole eye contact thing is fascinating to me because I catch myself not looking at someone in the eye, and I'm looking away, and I'm thinking, and then I start thinking, wait, why am I not looking at them in the eye?
Yeah.
What am I hiding? Or if they can't look at me in the eye, I'm thinking, what are they hiding? So this is just things that we do whenever we hide something.
Yeah, and there are people out there who are just naturally shy, by the way. That's
true.
important to point out.
Yeah, there's another one here. We speak softly and timidly. We slouch and hunch over. Here's another one important. The way that we hide is we wait for other people to initiate things.
Yeah.
To talk to us, to bring up issues, to have conversations. I'm sure it's been in some sort of a sitcom somewhere where someone's like holding back, like maybe it's as intense as they've had an affair with somebody, and then all of a sudden the spouse says, "Have you ever cheated on me?" Yes, I have. Thanks for asking, right? Because we're just waiting for someone to confront us with something.
Yeah.
And then that all of a sudden gives us a door to run through with whatever we're hiding. And this is another show topic here. I'm going to read this and we'll talk about. In conversation, we don't offer up anything about our lives, our feelings, our interests, or our thoughts. And I commonly hear from people that if they are talking to someone that doesn't share anything personally, they think they're hiding something. Do you agree with that?
No.
Why?
Because I know plenty of people who are simply private about their lives. It could mean
What
that.
are they hiding?
It could.
Then what are they hiding? They're hiding something.
No, some people are just like it's none of your business. I mean, some people just don't like to share about themselves. They like to keep their life close to the vest. Some people are big, sometimes it's just my father-in-law is one of those people. I mean,
Okay.
he doesn't really care to talk to anybody, but when he does, he sure as heck doesn't care to talk about anything with his personal life. It's the way that he is.
You don't even know what his middle name is yet, do you?
It's James, as a matter of fact.
No, that's funny.
But he's a very and I think we all know people like that. And are some of them possibly doing it because they're hiding something? Sure,
It's
but
hard
not
to
everybody,
connect, right? It's very difficult. This is my own personal opinion, and I think it's the opinion of many people. It's very difficult for us to connect with people that do not share hardly anything about them personally.
I agree with that.
And in my career, when I'm working with people, individuals in a small, close-knit group, especially where trust has been built, and they still can't share anything about, or let's just say, they choose not to share anything personal about themselves, what are they hiding? They are hiding something. There is a fear in them that if they share something personal, and that person's like, I don't know the exact words you just used, but it's someone that just don't like to share their personal lives.
Yeah.
Why? What are you hiding? What are you holding back from the rest of us? What are they
I
afraid
just don't
of?
care to talk about. It's not me, but I mean, they would say Tim, my father-in-law, who would be upset that I've mentioned his name, his first name,
Tim James.
Yep. No,
Whatever.
not giving the last name.
That, yeah.
But
Timothy James.
He would be really upset if I
We're just talking about him.
if I shared anything about his life, because he just doesn't. He has nothing to. I don't think he has anything to hide. But he doesn't care to share those things.
Yeah.
But you're right, JJ, that if we really want to connect with people, and that can be in for personal social reasons, or it can be in business, we have to be willing to give a little bit of ourselves. I mean, if you or I walked into a one-on-one lunch with somebody, a business lunch, and we just sat down and got straight to business and said nothing about, what's going on with you? Where are you guys vacationing this summer? What have you done this winter? I mean, it would be weird.
Yeah.
Because that's not how we operate. We try to find ways, consciously or subconsciously, to build rapport with people, to find things in common. And that's what helps us grow any relationship,
And build
personal
trust.
business.
And trust.
No doubt.
I'm sorry. I cannot build trust with someone that will not open up about something in their life personally. If I can't figure out what your history is, what your family's like, I just can't trust you. I feel like you're hiding something.
Yep. I agree.
And I'm hoping our listeners right now are really thinking hard about this and asking themselves, is that me? Do I not give enough? I understand that we're in a society of privacy now, and your phone knows more about you than most of the people in your life. I just want to lay that out there right now, that Facebook, the NSA, and your iPhone know more about you personally than anybody else in your life.
Especially
They've
Facebook.
heard everything you've said.
Yep.
Based on the things that you like, the things that you love, the websites you go to. They know you personally more than some of the people that you feel are the closest in your life.
That's right. Especially Google.
Is it
you
that
know,
fair that your phone should know more about you than your spouse?
because it's your phone. It doesn't talk back to you.
One of these days,
My phone doesn't judge me.
due to artificial intelligence, theoretically, how you could practice this? Just talk to Siri. Just talk to Siri about who you are personally. Just practice it a little bit. Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. Oh, so she's being complicated this morning.
Yeah.
She's trying. She's actually listening to everything I'm saying. It says, hey, Siri, Route 60 to be complicated, Toronto. She's actually listening to every C. So it's listening. And the fact that she was listening to even know her name was a scary proposition. And she's still listening. I'm seeing every word that I'm saying on the screen right now while she's trying to figure out what I want.
Yeah.
Just practice. Just talk to Siri. Okay, we might get off the rails a little bit
Just
here.
a little bit.
So a couple more things on the ways we hide. And then when we come back from our next break, we're going to talk about what we need to do to open up. We don't tell the truth to others. I know that's the most obvious thing on this list of ways we hide. There's such thing as lies, and there's white lies. Now, I grew up in a household where there were actually phones in the house, on tables.
Yes.
That you'd pick up this thing called a receiver, and you'd put it to your face. It would ring. Everyone could hear it. There'd be multiple units in the house, and when you picked it up, you could actually hear other people talk. I know it's really crazy to think about for our listeners that have never experienced that. But what would happen whenever the phone would ring and when caller ID came along, and someone in the house would say, "Tell them I'm not here."
Yep.
That's a lie. And that's actually teaching your children how to lie.
That's a great point.
I know we don't have phones in the household anymore, but think about all the ways that you might be doing that, teaching other people how to lie. And when I say we don't tell the truth to others, most people's reactions are, "Oh, yeah, I tell people the truth." I think if someone followed you around for a day, you probably notice a lot of things that you stretch and don't tell the truth. So that starts to pile up on the hiding. And most importantly on this list is we don't tell the truth to ourselves. The number one reason that we hide our true selves from others is because we're not even being truthful with ourselves.
Yep.
We're holding back, we're hiding. So when we get back, we're going to talk about ways that we can't hide anymore. I'm going to pop the lid off this thing. Show people your true self. Don't go away. You're listening to The Great People Show.
The Great People Show. We'll be right back. Before the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People was the Dale Carnegie course. Now, after 104 years, over 8 million people experience Dale Carnegie courses. People like Warren Buffett and Ronald Reagan. The Dale Carnegie experience uses proven techniques to permanently unlock the potential of top talent, making individuals into inspiring leaders and groups into high-performing teams, while reducing the financial and emotional costs of employee turnover. For more information, visit DaleCarnegieRichmond.com. That's DaleCarnegieRichmond.com. Now back to the Great People Show.
What are you hiding, folks? We can't hide anymore.
No.
The show topic will not let us hide. James was telling us a story during the break while he was trying to hide something from his kids, and it didn't work. You want to share that one really fast?
We didn't even know we were trying to hide anything. So it's funny.
Oh,
so,
you knew.
Well, so my wife and kids came down to the studio this morning because we're going somewhere else straight from here, and she likes to. Our kids like the Mad Lib books.
Yeah, I love them.
So Catherine, my wife, came up, found some Mad Lib books around the house and stuck them in the car. And the kids were doing one on the way here, and they finished one, and they were flipping through. And my oldest son said, all of a sudden says, "Mommy, I found a Mad Lib, and it's in your handwriting, and this is really inappropriate."
Nice.
And my wife freaked out. Granted, it was from like the late 90s when we were dating, and it was definitely not appropriate and definitely something you should be hiding from your children.
I would agree with that. I remember doing those at that level in my youth, and I would be mortified if my children. I'd be mortified if I actually let them stick around at this point.
Yeah.
I know mine are gone.
Well, Catherine, she grabs us back and she said, "Well, this is not appropriate for children." I said, "This isn't appropriate for most adults."
I need to hide this for myself. This reminds me too much of who I used to be.
That's right.
So we're talking about why we can't hide why we shouldn't hide, why we can't hide, why do we hide our true selves from other people? Sometimes it's in the form of secrets. And I really can't let the show end without talking about this list that I found. You know what the top 3 secrets are that we hide from other people?
No.
Top 3 secrets. This was some research that I found. The top 3 things that we hide from other people: debts, sexual turn-ons, and phobias. And I'm wondering if our listeners right now, as I was reading this list, were like visualizing what I was talking about. Like, oh yeah, okay, I get it. It's a little scary. Number one thing, I don't think this is a surprise. Number one thing that we do hold as a secret is having an affair.
Mm-hmm.
Number one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised on number 2, an embarrassing incident. I mean, I get that, But I don't. Maybe that's just me. I wouldn't hold that back. I wouldn't hide that from most people.
I don't.
I'm hard to
I
embarrass.
enjoy being laughed at. So
Oh, and
Yeah.
I when people come to me and say, oh, "Here, I'm going to try to embarrass you," I'm like, "Good luck."
yeah, exactly.
I really don't care. I think that's an age thing too. I think once you get older, it's almost impossible to get embarrassed.
Yes.
Even though there are some people that I think they'll be embarrassed their entire life if you let them. Family history, purchases, smoking and used to smoke.
No, wait a minute. Now you skipped over number 3 there.
Oh, internet history. You want to talk about that one?
Well, I just think that's
Internet
really.
history.
I do not want to talk about that one. As a matter of fact,
Can you hide your internet history?
Sure, you can.
Oh, you can. You think you can delete it?
Oh, I'm sure there. Yes, I'm sure it is all tracked.
Came out yesterday. You know what I think it's funny about this whole hiding thing is it's coming out in the news about Facebook is essentially listening to and recording every single thing we do. They hold on to it permanently and they sell it to other people. And it's in the news. It's like, folks, they're executing on their pronounced business model.
Yeah. I mean, nobody should be surprised about this. I'm not. I am shocked at how much data they collect. I mean, I read the update yesterday that they have now said that they scan every single Facebook Messenger message you send. Everything.
Like, is that news? I mean, seriously.
I think it's news, but I think
Come
that
on.
it's one of those things that I mean, again, it's a free service, and that's how they make their money. If you don't like it, don't get on there.
Yeah, anything I do on the internet, anything, a website, Facebook, Siri, you name it, I am under the assumption it is going somewhere in a permanently recorded history that someone will be able to find on me at some point in the future
Yep.
for any reason whatsoever.
Yep.
Whether it be political office, one of these days when AI controls the world and they'll know everything about you and it will be living in the Terminator era, who knows? You
Yeah.
just have to assume, right?
Yep.
But most people are afraid of their internet history being found, I guess. I don't know. So let's start to bring this plane in for landing on why we can't hide, or why we can't hide in ways that we can uncover ourselves more without being too uncomfortable. What's the driver behind it? Number one for me is that you have gifts and talents, and it's not right for you to bury them. People need you. One of my favorite parables in the Bible is about the buried talents and how these talents are given out and to the sons of the landowner. If I'm getting the story right, Asher's our on-call biblical scholar here in the studio. And one son goes and multiplies his talent. One buries his talent, and one goes and basically, in modern day terms, takes his talents to Vegas and blows it all at one table.
Right.
Okay. Asher, am I on target?
There's a little bit of revisionist.
Just go with
I think
the
there's
flow,
a couple
brother.
of jots and tittles that might not be right.
Okay, so Asher agrees.
but it's close enough. I think
Just go with
the spirit's
flow,
there.
right? So the point there is you can't. The easier points is you can't waste your talents. I know taking them out there and just blowing them into the wind is not hiding much.
Yep.
But it's also not utilizing much either. What we've been talking about on the show today literally is burying your talent, is covering it up with dirt, of keeping other people from seeing it. And it doesn't compute for most people that are listening right now, because they're probably thinking, well, that's not what you've been talking about. You've been talking about hiding the bad things. No, we're talking about hiding you. We're talking about if you've done something, said something, thought something, and you feel like you need to keep that as a secret, this is a dark cloud that's going to carry over you for the rest of your life. You're hiding a part of you that's not enabling the real you to come out. Many of you don't have the confidence in your own head to go and do what you really want to do. For some reason, you know you've been given a gift to go do something. You don't know why, but you've been given a gift. And you're scared to use it because it's going to screw up the status quo. It's going to change the lives of your spouse. It's going to change the lives of your kids, but you're scared to death. So you just hide it. You just keep it tucked away. That final story was about someone that used the talents and it multiplied. Now, I was getting into my personal story a little bit earlier, is where I really disappeared all through high school and college. I didn't want to be seen. I lacked tremendous amount of confidence. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't know who I was. And then when I get into Dale Carnegie and I start to put myself on the proverbial stage, I had no idea who I was. I had no idea I was capable of the things that I was. And I'm trying not to be boastful here, but I feel like at a certain point you just become good at what you do. And I think it's okay to say, I'm pretty good at this because people tell you you're good at something.
Yeah, I couldn't agree. I don't think people do it enough.
And most people ignore the feedback.
Yes.
They're told how good you are told how good you are. And you say, no, I'm not that good.
Mm-hmm.
No, because of this humbleness thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all down with being humble. I am not down with you burying who you are because you don't believe in yourself. That's crap.
Yep.
That is total crap. And you were given this at birth. We've said this on the show, that this program is not because we're great, and it's not because you just want to be successful and rich in your life, and we're going to help you get there. You've got this journey that you're going on in your life right now, and this greatness isn't just for you. Shocking.
Yeah.
It's for everyone in your life. And how dare you hold that back from other people?
Mm-hmm.
You just can't do it. You have a gift. You have this talent. Number two, it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy to hide. I mean, think about all the psychological baggage that you're holding, that people are holding, because you want to keep things inside of you.
Yeah, I mean, it can be. When we say unhealthy, we mean it can be unhealthy to you physically, mentally, emotionally, and it can be unhealthy just in the sense that you're keeping. I mean, I love what you said earlier in the show, JJ. You are holding back your ability to have joy in your life.
Yeah, that's it. And you can't get any more unhealthy than that.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even have time to talk about all the health consequences to holding on to this negative energy.
Mm-hmm.
People eat their way to satisfaction. They drink their way to satisfaction. They smoke their way to satisfaction. They have sex on their way to satisfaction. Mm-hmm. I think I've met just about any kind of addict you can imagine in my career and in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Just because people, I tend to be, people just talk to me. People just, I hear things from people, and I points I'm wondering, it's like, man, why are you telling me this? You don't even know me.
You're very easy to talk to.
I'm very easy to talk to. Call the show, confess. The phone hasn't rang since I asked for that, by the way. I knew nobody was calling today's show. I just knew it was not going to happen. So what seems to be the hardest things to do is what will probably bring you the most joy when you do it and get good at it. So that one thing that you are just totally scared to let out is probably the one thing that will set you free.
Yeah.
The truth, your truth, being truthful with yourself is what will set you free. And it's not about, I don't know if I can be completely honest with the people around me. I don't think you can be honest with yourself. And that becomes the root of it. So Marie said earlier, this feeds into she gave us number 4 on the show. The true self is often shared easily with those we trust. Is part of this issue connecting with trust. You have to surround yourself with people that you can be open and honest with. We have a caller that just came in. We're going to sneak him here before the end of the show. We have Ben on the show. Ben, what's going on?
JJ, good to hear from you. And this is very relevant. I actually was talking with somebody about this very thing.
Tell us.
And they said they were struggling with a certain thing. They were just that was eating them alive. And they thought about even bringing it out in the open would bring condemnation to their life, where nobody would even talk to them. And the matter of fact is that so many people are dealing with so many different things, and they feel like, and they engage in self-hate, which is even more destructive sometimes than what they're actually dealing
Absolutely.
with. And so it's so important to bring that out, and I think this is a really good topic for today's show, so I'm glad you're hitting that today.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for calling the show. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
That's a good point. And I think we've been really saying that is the more you hold on to these things that you hide, you're not helping anybody. You're destroying yourself.
Yep.
So that's our encouragement for you today is take what you feel you've been holding on. Maybe it's a gift that you've been given and you've been scared to use it. Maybe it's some trauma in your life that you just can't tell other people because you're afraid of this condemnation that Ben talked about?
Maybe it's something that is just eating at you day after day and adding that 10,000-pound weight on your shoulders, and you are ready to just cast it off.
We're on your case on this one. This is critical. This is critical to your future and to your family's future, to your job's future, is to release this thing in your life. Release you. Release you. You're like in bondage right now. It can't be this way anymore. I better go before I pop a top here, man. This is just so close to my heart on being the real you. Don't hide anymore. Thank you for not hiding and joining the show. Whether you're listening to us on live radio or Apple Podcast, you can visit our website at greatpeopleshow.com to see every show that we've done. You can email me directly if you have a show topic. We love to get these show topics from our listeners. It's jj@greatpeopleshow.com. Follow us on Facebook at Great People Show. Take action right now in your life to do something different that's going to shake things up. And I believe a big part of that is to come clean on something. And it may not be like a sin or something that just something that you've been holding yourself back from. So
it can be very freeing and can really, again, increase that joy, increase that happiness in your life. You know, it may not be the easiest thing from day one, but in the long run, you're gonna be glad that you did it.
James, thanks for being here with me.
My
I'm hoping
pleasure.
you're next week so we can see each other again.
I'll be here.
Thanks, everyone, folks. Come back and see us in a week, every Thursday mornings.
Thanks for joining us. Tune in to the Great People Show again next week, Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.